The Galaxy S25 Edge is finally out in the wild, and now, all eyes are on Apple's response, the rumored iPhone 17 Air. With leaks flying around and renders making the rounds, the big question everyone's asking is, can Apple do the thin thing better than Samsung? Let's break it down. The Galaxy S25 Edge is Samsung's bold attempt at reintroducing ultra-thin flagship phones. It's sleek, stylish, and certainly futuristic, but it's not perfect. And with the iPhone 17 Air expected to be even thinner, Apple might just be ready to one-up Samsung once again. Here's what we know. The iPhone 17 Air is aiming for a 5.5mm profile, thinner than the Galaxy S25 Edge's already impressive 5.8mm body. That's a 5% difference. Not massive on paper, but noticeable in hand. And when you realize it's 40% thinner than Apple's own iPhone 16 Pro Max, it's clear that this is Apple pushing limits once again. Design-wise, the iPhone 17 Air brings some interesting elements to the table. For starters, it's expected to feature a 6.9-inch display, slightly larger than the S25 Edge's 6.7 inches. With that larger size and thinner profile, the phone will likely feel even slimmer than it is. That's clever design at work. Apple's also introducing a new camera layout. Unlike Samsung's dual camera setup on the S25 Edge, the iPhone 17 Air is rumored to have just one main camera on the back, something that might sound like a downgrade. But it's worth remembering how well Apple's single-lens cameras have performed in the past. And who knows? With computational photography improving rapidly, that one camera might be all it needs. Then there's the battery. This is where things get tricky. The iPhone 17 Air is expected to come with a 2800 mAh battery, a big step down from the Galaxy S25 Edge's 3900 mAh. That sounds small, but Apple has a history of optimizing its devices to make the most of less. Just look at the iPhone 13 mini. It had a 2438 mAh battery and still got users through the day thanks to iOS efficiency. If Apple uses a new silicon carbon battery, as some rumors suggest, the 17 Air could surprise us. Now let's talk about weight. The iPhone 17 Air could weigh just 145 grams, making it lighter than most flagships today. That's a big deal for users who value portability and comfort. Combine that with the ultra-thin form factor, and you've got a phone that's bound to turn heads. But perhaps the most important number is the price. While the Galaxy S25 Edge launched at $1,099, Apple is rumored to price the iPhone 17 Air at $999. That $100 difference could make a major impact, especially if the Air delivers on performance, style, and battery life. The question is, why is Apple more likely to succeed where Samsung might struggle? It's the Apple factor. Take the iPhone 16e, for example. By most accounts, it didn't make a lot of sense. It was a rebranded iPhone 14 with fewer cameras and some tweaks, yet it sold surprisingly well. That's the power of Apple's branding, marketing, and loyal fan base. They can take a product with confusing specs and still move millions of units. So when Apple announces the iPhone 17 Air, thinner, sleeker, lighter, and under $1,000, it's almost guaranteed to make a splash. Even if the specs don't look as strong on paper, Apple knows how to sell the experience. The name, the feel, the promise of something new, that's what drives people to Apple stores every year. But should you actually buy either the Galaxy S25 Edge or the iPhone 17 Air? Here's the truth. While both are exciting and futuristic, they might not be practical for the average user. Think about it. Will anyone really carry around a 5.5mm phone without putting a case on it? Probably not. And once you add a case, the wow factor of being ultra-thin kind of disappears. Plus, you're paying more for less in many ways. Less battery, fewer cameras, fewer features. You're not getting a power device. You're getting a style statement. And while that might work for tech enthusiasts and early adopters, most people just want a reliable phone with solid battery life and great cameras. So who are these phones really for? They're for people who care about having the latest and most different. They're for brand loyalists who love being the first to try new tech. They're for the ones who want to stand out from the crowd. But if you're someone who values practicality, there are probably better options out there. More balanced phones with bigger batteries, more features, and maybe even foldable displays. Still, the iPhone 17 Air is shaping up to be an important phone. Just like the Galaxy S25 Edge, it's pushing boundaries and asking big questions about the future of smartphone design. Do we really need thinner phones? Or are we already at the sweet spot? Let us know what you think. Will the iPhone 17 Air beat the Galaxy S25 Edge? Would you buy one? Drop your thoughts in the comments and vote in our poll below. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more updates on the latest tech trends.